Hello, everybody, and welcome back. What I wanted to say, a lot of times you guys out there feel like you failed. You guys feel you've been beat down, you've been drug through the mud, that nobody cares about you. And meanwhile, you're the one that has been trying to help people. You wake up to this and you find that you've been dealing with this your whole life. And it had to be a spell because it was unbeknownst to you in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways you saw it, and in a lot of ways it was covered under some sort of camouflage. And it took you a long time to figure it out. It took me a long time to figure it out. And so I think that there's a lot of people out there, they may be looking at a long, hard road, right? But you got to just take this day, one day at a time. And that's why it says that in the word, because if you don't take things day by day and look at just today, but doing the best you can do today, that's why I would say, if you do make good choices every day, you will come out of this quicker than you realize. And a lot of people will say, well, the empath is weak, or they were maybe naive or whatever. And I want to say something about that. For all those empathic people out there that feel this way, or have heard this and have been brainwashed into believing it, it's not true at all. Everything is how you look at it. And a lot of times, we as empaths have the ability to, in some ways, see things very deeply. And when you're a healer, when you're somebody that maybe was forced down the road of becoming heavily empathic out of survival and out of grooming and out of your innate spirit, what the enemy means for evil, what the enemy means to use to hurt you, to use you, to abuse you, to beat you, break you, destroy you, it becomes your superpower in the end. I mean, because God will come in and cultivate that and help you to see who you really are. And if I can get nothing across to you today, I want to get this one thing across to you today, is that you're special. You're special because you have heart, and you're special because you could be sensitive. See, and God loves this because this means you're going to be, you have the ability to be sensitive to the Spirit of God as well. Love and healing and having empathy and sympathy for people. We're really not special. We're really just showing the rest of the world how everybody should really try to act when it comes to the emotional level. What we are is, when it comes to the emotional level, in a lot of ways, we are the sane one in this world. Because what happened to us was we were groomed, we were used, we were abused. A lot of times we were mistreated, neglected, and not shown love. We put everybody first, and we tried to heal others. We tried to help others. We tried to give them time. We tried to give them loyalty and try to create peace and harmony. These are all the things that everybody should be doing in this world. But it says, in the last days, that this world will grow cold. They'll grow cold, y'all. And it says that when they do go and have fellowship, a lot of times, even in what should be Christ Church, a lot of times they're going to want to, it says in Scripture, a lot of people that end up being imposters, for Christ. And that's why it looks so bad in the church today and in the world. If the church isn't healthy, the world won't be either. And because the church has, and the world has done the same thing, the church has fallen trap to believing what these Christian scholars and Christian historians and Christian moguls that supposedly were around in our past history tell them is the truth and how we should be doing it, when we're supposed to be looking just at the word. And the world's done the same thing. They take what the historian says, what the scientist says, and what the chemist says, and they just believe it. They believe it because this is coming from the hierarchy of the world system. And if it's coming from these books and these scholars and these historians, and nobody's giving them pushback, then it's got to be true. Well, I'm here to tell you that a lot of what you hear in the church today, it says they want to have their ears tickled, meaning they want to just hear good things. They don't want to hear anything bad or anything that takes work to become a better individual. They just want to hear about blessings. And blessings are great. But I'll tell you, when you start getting into monetary blessings only, or things having to deal with, clothing, cars, homes, jewelry, fame and fortune, these are all finite, y'all. These are all things that you can't take with you. You came into this earth nude, and when you leave this earth, you're going to go nude as well. And it don't matter if you're rich, poor, or middle class. If you came from the slums, man, it doesn't matter. We all go to the same creator and have to account for our time on this earth. And I'm preaching to myself first today, okay? And most of the time, that's always the case. That's always the case. And that's how I try to keep this channel real, because this is really, all of the stuff that I talk to you all about is for me first. So don't ever think that I'm coming on here to belittle anybody or speak to somebody and think that I'm not speaking to myself first. I'm always speaking to myself first. These are thoughts and things that are for me before they're ever for you. And that's how I keep it real, because if it's good enough for me and it convicts me, it should have some sort of merit with you. And if I believe it, and I would do it myself, and I'm not going to steer myself wrong, why would I do it to you? And I do seek the truth. I do wholeheartedly, seriously. And I want you to know that, because what I just said, in a lot of ways, what you hear in this world, or what you hear from the psychologists, psychotherapists, and all these people, they'll tell you, you're this and you're that, and the empath, they try to make you a nothing in this whole situation, really. And it's not that we need any glory, but what I am trying to say is, you grow up the same way the narcissist did. You got, destroyed in your family, and then you come into a love partner situation, you got destroyed from that, and all you did was, you just let it go. And you recovered. You focused on recovery. You never were out to hurt people, destroy people. And a lot of times, early on, yeah, you would like to see them get some kind of repercussions, most definitely. But, as you move on from that, and chances are it was just thoughts. You would never do anything to hurt them, but you sure felt like it would be okay if they did get hurt, right? And fine, I'm not here to judge. I felt a lot. I was pissed when I woke up to this. And it tends to get deeper and deeper sometimes, because as you go into heal your childhood wounds, it's like there's a blessing in it and a benefit in it, because you start to see that, wow, all these people that were checked out in my family, it makes sense now. It made sense when I was a kid. I mean, you understood it as a kid, but you didn't know why. And now you know why, and you know why they acted and operated the way they did. And if you were hurt by it, yeah, you're able to shake it off. But it did. It had a long lasting effect on your life, and it really slowed things down. And God repays the just. Truly turning from that folly that we were in and walking in with the understanding of this, walking in true obedience with the Lord will speed up that process of you catching up for all that time lost. It takes obedience. But nevertheless, you have to know that the most important thing in this world that you could ever do is to know the Lord. And if you can, I always say, get your ticket to heaven and take whoever you can with you. And that's really the most important thing. At the end of the day, a lot of people, they save up all this money and they never even get to spend it. They kick the bucket. Somebody blows it at some casino or something, really. And what I wanted to say is, you're really very powerful. Because what the psychologist will tell you is you were dealing with somebody with a personality disorder. It's not even really a psychological disorder, it's a personality disorder. But my point is this. That's not what you were dealing with. You were dealing with demons, y'all. And you still have to deal with them. And why did demons come to you? They come to you because you're strong. The demon ain't gonna come to somebody who ain't a threat. You were a threat and you didn't even know you were a threat. So if I could lift your spirit, let me tell you, if you can get a little bit more congruent with God, you're becoming a huge threat. Because they do not want this world system to elevate at all. But it is. It's elevating through your bones, y'all. It's elevating through your bones, through your spirit. Because you lift up. You have the ability to lift up everything around you. The lights in this world are very far and few between. They're closed-minded. They laugh, but they're not happy. They can't have real joy. And so you got to look at things from a different perspective sometimes. Just like, so this is the deal. The narcissist is a street soldier for Satan. They're armed soldiers and assassins working for the enemy. And if they're coming to you, it's because you're a soldier too. Soldiers fight other soldiers. Armies fight other armies. Officers and generals, they devise against other evil. Or the allied or the Axis powers, right? They're against each other. They don't fight civilians. Even mafias and things. They don't infringe on the family if at all possible. They just hit their enemy target. You are an unawoke soldier. But you got to understand that the world likes to devise this way that a soldier is supposed to work and operate. And it's always through violence. But you're a soldier that has to, or a warrior, that has to do things differently than the world suggests a soldier should be, or a warrior should be. You have to be a warrior and know how to be self-aware, how to be self-conscious, how to speak little and listen much, to be cautious with individuals, to only give your energy, your fuel, your time, your help, your finances to people that you vet and you know that you want to bless them. What I'm trying to say is you got to let that light shine. And covered under a bushel, no. Man, I'm gonna let it shine, y'all. And you gotta let it shine. You don't change who you are innately because of what the narcissist did to you. You just have to move in silence and operate with precision. And precision is key to this life. You don't need their validation. You don't look for it. You validate yourself. You don't need the attention. You don't need the glory. Continue to walk in humility and let your light shine. And it will do all the work for you.